God didn't make the little green apples, and it don't rain in Indianapolis in the summertime. Something like that. I think that's all the, it's nonsense. It's that's what the whole song's about. Of course, God did make the little green apples, and it does rain in Indianapolis in the summer. I don't know that, but I think that's what the point of the song was. And when I say God, I don't mean, the God that everybody follows around, seemingly, if you're religious. Well, you may be religious, but I mean organised religion. Don't think so. It's not a good idea. But yes, definitely the Creator. Oof, yeah. Otherwise, how did we get here? The Big Bang. We're all gonna die. The Big Bang. What a... Well, they were backed into a corner, so they had to come up with something. And it's just preposterous. Kaboom! And here we are. Oh, yeah, it took billions of years. Oh, really? Billions of years. Yeah, okay. Yep. Well, anyway, I don't believe any of that bullshit. I don't believe anything. In fact, I just know and I don't know. And that's the way I would advise everybody to be. You know things and you don't know things. And that's the best way. Your mind then can be free to assess and speculate and conclude if you can, but don't believe, because that's just a waste of headspace. Anyway, I've done a bit more digging. My back is wringing wet. I'll have to change my shirts actually. It's very nice out there, very pleasant, very warm and still. I like it when it's still, very little wind. Although when it's windy, I fire up the old Jenny because nobody can hear it really, and I can charge a few batteries up. Wow! In fact, there isn't a great deal left on the laptop here. Still, never mind. This evening's entertainment is sorted. Now, one thing I have noticed with this carry on, or a few things I've noticed actually, but let's just focus on this. The people who know that the Earth is flat tend to be like me. Here, face, on show, name. That's my name. They don't hide. They don't hide behind a mask. Yes, this is really my face. I'm very sorry about that. It's not a fright mask. It is my face, and I am showing it on a public platform for all to see, because why not? But the people who argue with people like me about the Earth, well, they think it's a spinning ball. Like I said, fair enough, because they're indoctrinated, and it takes so long. Well, it takes a while to crack that. But why don't they show the face and use the real name, these people? The comments I've had, and not just me, but loads of other people, which I follow other people, they tend to be the same. They get maybe they use a name, but how do I know that's correct? But they don't show the face. They'll argue all they like. Now, the other thing is, if I'd used this channel to promote my fairyland that I've found, when I was digging, I came across not an ant's nest, but fairyland. I can almost guarantee that I wouldn't be challenged. People would just he's mad. And well, I can't dismiss fairies out of hand. I can't say they don't exist. But I've never seen any, and so therefore I'm not willing to say that they do exist. Of course, I've seen grey seals. I've seen common seals. I know they exist. I've seen lobsters and crabs, and obviously they exist. I've not seen fairies or pixies or elves. I've seen hedgehogs and hares. Anyway, I'm just rambling on, wasting time. What I'm trying to get at is, why so much attention on people who discovering the truth suddenly get lots of shit thrown at them by anonymous people, by people who won't reveal themselves? Are they worried that they might be wrong, do you think? See, I'm not worried because I know I'm not wrong. And you think, oh, you're so belligerent, and you won't give. And look, I've said before, I've given up the ball on finding it wasn't right. Now, what else would you like me to do? Because once you go flat, you don't go back. Because once you know it's flat, you know it's flat. And that's that. Somebody said, oh yes, and explaining to them that the Earth was flat. They said there's some suspension bridge, maybe it's the San Francisco Golden Gate Bridge, where the towers. I get this right. This is great. They said, no, I know the Earth's curve because the towers are not parallel. At the top, they have more distance between them than at the bottom, and that's the curvature of the Earth. And then I worked it out, and I can't remember what it was now, but because I looked it up, and sure enough, it's right. But that is well, it's not caused by anything but the people who built it, and it's the kind of, my hands are filthy, but it's the kind of because there's tension on that way. They didn't want to make it like that because that way it would just collapse. So they actually put the hang the other way to compensate. Get me? Because all the pulls that way with a suspension bridge. That's the reason. But I worked it out, and if it were to follow the curve that this fella suggested, then it would be well, it's about half the size, I think. I worked it out as. So instead of being what is it, 6,000 miles across, is it? I think it would only be 3. And the 6,000 mile thing is nonsense anyway, obviously, because it ain't a ball. So yeah, that's really the main things I was thinking when I was digging. It's great to dig because your mind is free. You can see what you're doing. There's no stress or great mystery about it. You just ease the spade through the clay and throw it as far as you can in that direction or that direction, whichever way around you're facing. Yes, and it's kind of laborious work, really, but monotonous. But that's what I mean. It frees your mind, and I can think without interruption and go on, down avenues that need some exploring. The moon landings are often key to this. I discovered the moon landings were well, they're just a joke now to me. They're just a complete joke. But I discovered that there were before I knew the Earth, before I knew it was impossible to go to the moon, which it is, let me tell you. I discovered that nobody went. Nobody goes up in the so-called rockets. A chap, oh dear, can't remember his name now. He's an engineer. Oh dear. Anyway, he when he was studying in college to become an engineer, he used to on occasion see the shuttle launches, and he had a great place. I will think of his name, where by the coast, because they always head off towards over the ocean, and he used to see them do a parabolic arc. Now, they say that they have to, fucking hell, that to get out of the Earth's atmosphere and gravitational pull, they have to go at an they can't just go straight up. They have to go at an angle to it. Right. So this is what he used to think that they were doing, but he often used to think, well, why is it an arc? Why it should get to an angle? Yeah, it should go up like that and like that. But then he observed it going back again. So he did some research and found out it was all a big show, a Walt Disney production, and we meant to believe that people actually go up on those things, but they don't, because of course we know that the astronauts, at least 6 of the 7, are alive and well and working, and oh dear, it's just a rip-off. This fella I'm thinking of, he does, if you just put balls out physics into YouTube, balls out physics, you will see, he's done so much great work. Lots of people have done this, but he did an experiment that proves that rockets cannot work in a vacuum. Besides the fact that there's nothing to burn, and we bring our own oxygen, yeah, but you don't bring your own air. You need air. The fire triangle says air, not oxygen. Anyway, that's by the by, but there's nothing to push against. In the atmosphere, atmosphere, there is something there. There's molecules of air. And because those molecules can't get away quick enough from the thrust of a rocket, means that the rocket goes this way, or whichever way it's pointing, which is actually another good point, because it's difficult to control a rocket. If you ever let one God, no, I won't say it. So how do you steer a rocket in a vacuum? You can't. That's the answer. It won't go anywhere unless it's already going somewhere, and you can't stop it. So when they got to the moon, they would just go, here's the moon, and there would be tomato sauce all over the surface. Clangers would just come along and either soak them up in their knitted garments, or maybe use, top up the soup dragon. I don't know. But there's many more reasons why they couldn't go to the moon. But that's a good one, isn't it? Rockets don't work in space. So the Hubble telescope is bullshit. The space shuttle was bullshit, and space is bullshit.